Have I tried to film this video 1,000 times? Yes. Will I ever achieve it? Your guess is as good as mine. What is wrong with me? Hi, it's Tati. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the 8 books that I have to read in 2020. Not like I want to read, but I have to read them because they've been on my shelves for far too long and I just can't keep carrying them around. It's either they get read or they don't. And yes, I know I'm filming this in March and I'll probably be posted somewhere around April. But I'm doing this now instead of in December, like a lot of people do, because I won't have time to read these books in December. So better to get ahead of it now, start reading these books and make this video now, rather than making it later and not actually having the time to finish them. Because I have decided that these books will not go into 2021 unread. Either they get read or they get DNF'd and unhauled because I cannot stand to look at them anymore. Well, most of them, anyway. So let's get started. First book is The Forbidden Game by L.J. Smith. So this is written by the same person that wrote The Vampire Diaries. This was published in 1994 after The Vampire Diaries. So yes, The Vampire Diaries is way older than we all think. So I've had this book for maybe 10 years. I think maybe 10 years. It's wild. And I've tried to read it a couple times, and every single time I get 100 pages in, and then I stop. And I need to start over. So it's either getting read this year or it's getting DNF'd and unhauled because I cannot stand it staring at me from my shelves anymore, and my knowing that I haven't read it. As you can see, I put little tabs on it because this is actually 3 books in one big boy, and I started reading it this morning. So, yay quarantine for getting me to read more. So I started this. I don't think I'll read all 3 of them right after the other. This is to say I won't finish the entire book in one sitting. I'll probably just read part 1 and then just read something else, read part 2, read something else, read part 3, and be done with it, unless I get really into it, or unless I DNF it. We never know. So yeah, this is getting read. From what I remember of this, it centers around main character Jenny, who is buying a board game for her boyfriend's birthday, which, now that I know this was written probably in 1993 and published in 1994, it makes a lot more sense to me now. And Julian, the guy that sells her the board game, is the antagonist, and from what I remember, if I remember properly, when they start playing the game, they all get transported into this old mansion, and they have to work their face fears, or they might die. I don't know. Sounds interesting enough. Hopefully I'll finish this book. Okay, so second book we're going to talk about is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I don't think I really need to explain to anybody what Frankenstein is about. So I was supposed to read this junior year of high school, which was now 6-7 years ago, something like that. And I read about 100 pages, and then I spark noted the rest for my test and my essay. And this bad boy has been following me around for a little while because I actually wrote an essay on the Frankenstein play for one of my classes senior year of college. So I should probably read the book. I don't know. Throughout the years after I graduated high school, I have been slowly finishing the books that I didn't finish in high school and college. So, this one's been following me around, and I don't want it to follow me around anymore. So, we're going to read the thing. That's what we're going to do. Book number 3 that we have to talk about is The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This one doesn't have a time thing, time this one hasn't been following me around for a while, like the other two. This one is simply that one of my best friends gave it to me for Christmas, I think it was, last year, and I haven't read it yet. I've sat down to read it like 3 times, and I get like 3 chapters in, and then I stop because of life and stuff, and by the time I come back to it, I decide to read something else, and I'm excited to read it. It centers around this girl, Olive, who has to go on her twin sister's honeymoon because her sister and her husband get food poisoning. So Olive and her sister's husband's brother, Ethan, have to go on this honeymoon together. Twist, Olive and Ethan don't get along. So, I think it's supposed to be like an enemies to lovers kind of thing, but I'll be the judge of that. I'm excited to read it. I haven't got into it yet, and I need to get to it this year because when friends pick out books for me, I do everything in my power to read them, and I haven't gotten to this yet, and I will hopefully get to it really, 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 really soon. Fourth book is, and I know I'm very late to this party, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Zusak. I actually own the audiobook for this, so the fact that I haven't read it yet is a travesty. Like, I do not understand why I haven't read this goddamn book yet, but I haven't. So this is getting read in 2020, or it is getting unhauled in DNF because, much like the Forbidden Game, I cannot stand to look at it anymore and know that I haven't read this goddamn book. So yeah, that's what's happening with this one. From what I remember of this book, it is set in Nazi Germany. It has death is around, and I remember correctly, I think it has something to do with book burning. I don't know, intriguing concepts all around, but I haven't gotten to it, and I've been carrying this book around for a long, long time, and I need to read it because otherwise I might go crazy. So, fifth book that we're going to talk about is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. So I started reading John Green around 2014, 2015 when I started watching Blog Brothers, and I've read all his books. I enjoy them a lot, and I managed to snag a signed copy of Turtles All the Way Down while I was living in Madrid a few years ago. See, signature and everything. And I just I just haven't gotten around to reading it, and I don't know why. I don't know much about this book, which you'll see is a trending topic amongst most of the books that I have left. I just know that the main character, I think she had OCD, if I remember correctly, and that's about all I know about this book. But I don't like that I haven't read it yet. It's sitting there with all my other John Green books unread. And I don't really like that. So we're going to read this in 2020. We're going to get acquainted. We're going to get to know each other. That's what we're going to do, this book and I. Book 6. Oh, this is really going to reveal what type of lit nerd I am. Sixth book I have to talk about is The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. Yes, this is the type of literary nerd I am. I want to read The Divine Comedy. So I've read Inferno, which is hell, a few times throughout the years for school, and I've enjoyed it, and I kind of want to read the entire thing, and I have it, and I have this beautiful edition of it, and I haven't read it. This is basically about Dante's journey through hell, purgatory, and finally heaven, and I just want to read it. I want to know what all the fuss is about. I want to see what goes on in purgatory and heaven. Mostly I just want to revisit hell because that's the type of person I am. I don't want to not have read this anymore. So it's getting read in 2020. That's what we're going to do because that's why we're here. 7. The 7th book I have to talk about is Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. Healy, that's what we're going with. Healy. I don't know a goddamn thing about this book. So here's the story. My local bookstore, which I love, does this annual blind date with a book thing in February for Valentine's Day. And I got this book around 2015, and I have yet to read it. I don't remember what tags were used in order to get me to buy this book. I don't know what it's about, but we're gonna find out because, well, it's been sitting on my shelves for 5 years, and I think it's time that I read it. Especially because I went to the blind date with a book thing this year and picked out a book, and I already read it, and I loved it. So here's hoping Elizabeth is Missing is another winner. My last and eighth book that I'm going to talk about is La Sombra del Viento por Carlos Ruiz Zafón. So, about this book. I had to read Marina, which is also written by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, in 11th grade. So, about 7 years ago. I don't remember where we landed on that one. I love Marina. I think it's like a beautifully written novel. It's super suspenseful, kind of creepy. I thought it was great. And everybody has always said, oh, you like Marina, you should read La Sombra del Viento. And I haven't. So it's time we get to it. Especially because, I don't know, I need to read more novels in Spanish is what I need to do. And also, as the trending topic I said it was going to be, I don't know what this book is about. But we're going to find out. Or it's getting DNF'd. I don't know. Hopefully I'll make it through all these books, but, you know, life happens. Look, if I can make it through 2020 with all these books read, I'm gonna be a happy girl. That's it. So those have been the 8 books that I need to get through in 2020. Hopefully I make it through all of them. Otherwise, unhauled, DNF'd. Except for like the really pretty versions. Those I like to keep because I collect them. So yeah, that's been the video. Those have been my books. Let's get to reading. I don't know how to end this. Oh, I suck at this. I don't even remember how I finished off the first video. Anyway, those have been my books. I have set my piece. Come back again, I guess, at some point for another video. If I actually make it. Oh, I really hope I make it. Anyway, I really need to get out of this. Okay, bye.